despite, despite, despite. So, let's talk about the word despite. As a preposition, it shows that there is a contrast between two things. Something happens or exists despite another situation or condition. Common usage of despite includes phrases like, despite my tiredness, I finished the project on time, where you're contrasting your physical state with the completion of the project. You can also use it to talk about things that don't affect a particular outcome or situation. For example, despite his lack of experience, he got the job. Here, we're highlighting that his experience didn't stop him from getting hired. One special note is that when using despite, you should be careful not to confuse it with in spite of. While they have similar meanings, in spite of often implies a stronger sense of opposition or defiance, whereas despite is more neutral. So if you're talking about something that just happens without being affected by another condition, despite is usually the better choice. In formal writing, such as academic journals or professional articles, you might use despite to connect two clauses that express contrasting ideas. Like this, the new policy has been implemented nationwide despite concerns from local authorities about its potential impact on small businesses. This sentence shows how despite can highlight the unexpected outcome of a situation. In casual conversations with friends or colleagues, you might use despite to talk about personal experiences or shared interests. Like this, I'm actually really into hiking. Despite being not very athletic, there's something about being in nature that just makes me feel alive. Here, despite emphasizes the contrast between your physical abilities and your love of hiking. In a business context, such as a company report or presentation, you might use despite to summarize data or highlight key statistics. Like this, sales have increased by 25% during the past quarter, despite a global economic downturn affecting our main suppliers. In this example, despite draws attention to an unexpected positive outcome amidst challenging circumstances. So you're trying to figure out what despite means. It's actually quite straightforward. Despite is a word that we use to talk about two things happening together, even though they might seem like opposites. Imagine someone saying, I'm very happy today, despite it being a rainy day. Here, the person is showing that their happiness and the rain are coexisting, which can be interesting because you wouldn't normally expect people to be happy on a rainy day. The main characteristic of despite is that it helps us connect two ideas or situations that might seem like they don't belong together, but actually do. If someone's trying to think of synonyms for despite, some options are in spite of, though, or even though. These words all kind of serve the same purpose as despite in a sentence. When we use despite, it helps us sound more natural and interesting when talking about how different things can happen together. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Let's talk about the word dimension. As a noun, it refers to a measure of size, amount, or extent in a particular direction or aspect. Think of it like a way to describe how big or small something is. In common usage, you'll often hear people talk about physical dimensions, like the height and width of a room. But dimension can also be used in more abstract senses, such as describing a person's perspective or point of view. For example, she has a unique dimension to her art means that it's got a special quality or way of looking at things. One special note about the usage of dimension is that it can sometimes sound a bit formal or even scientific, so you might hear it used in contexts like math or physics. where precision and clarity are important. But overall, understanding the word dimension can help you describe all sorts of things, from physical spaces to ideas and perspectives. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word dimension, along with their contexts. In a formal setting, such as a university lecture hall, a professor might say, the concept of time is often considered a 4th dimension, separate from the 3 spatial dimensions we experience in everyday life. This usage emphasizes the abstract idea being discussed and establishes a connection to established knowledge. In a casual conversation, like meeting up with friends at a coffee shop, someone might say, I've been playing this new video game where you can jump into a whole different dimension. It's so cool. This usage is more relaxed and focuses on sharing an exciting experience or discovery. In a business or academic setting, such as a conference presentation, a researcher might say, our data suggests that considering environmental impact adds a crucial dimension to the traditional cost-benefit analysis of business decisions. This usage highlights the importance of integrating new information into existing frameworks and demonstrates expertise in the field. So, you're trying to grasp this abstract concept that helps us think about things in a more, let's call it, a multifaceted way. Imagine having a bunch of parallel worlds or realities all existing at once, but they can't be directly seen or touched. That's basically what we're talking about. It's like a separate layer of space where different rules or properties might apply. And it's not necessarily connected to the one we experience every day. In science fiction, you might come across stories that explore these kinds of parallel realities or alternate universes. They're similar ideas, but not exactly the same thing. This concept is often used in math and physics to help us understand how objects behave when they're affected by different forces or energies. It's also important for thinking about space and time in a more abstract way. Domestic. 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 The word domestic can be quite versatile, so let's break it down together. As an adjective, domestic generally refers to things that are related to a household or family, such as domestic chores or domestic animals. In common usage, you might hear phrases like, I have a lot of domestic work to do at home, or, the domestic dog is friendly with the neighbors. One special note about its usage is that domestic can also imply something that's characteristic of one's own country or culture, rather than foreign. For example, he's interested in learning more about domestic music and dance traditions. Don't get it mixed up with international, though, which usually refers to things outside of a particular country. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word domestic with their respective contexts. The Smiths have decided to hire a domestic worker to help them manage their household and take care of their young children while they're at work. In this formal usage, domestic refers to something related to the home or family, emphasizing the role's focus on childcare and domestic duties. For example sentence, we've been looking for someone reliable to handle our domestic responsibilities. I'm thinking of investing in a new coffee maker that's more energy efficient and doesn't make a mess. I don't want anything too crazy going on in my domestic space. Haha. In this casual conversation usage, domestic is used informally to refer to one's home or personal life, highlighting the desire for a peaceful and organized living environment. For example sentence, I'm just trying to keep things calm and peaceful in my domestic life. You know, quote, the company's domestic sales have been increasing steadily over the past quarter. thanks to targeted marketing campaigns and efficient distribution networks. In this business or academic usage, domestic refers to something related to one's own country or region, highlighting the focus on local markets and economies. For example, sentence: our latest quarterly report shows a significant growth in domestic sales, which is a positive sign for our overall revenue. So, you want to know about something that refers to the stuff people use and take care of in their homes? It's like all the things that are used for daily life, like furniture, appliances, and tools. This concept is often associated with household chores, maintenance, and upkeep. Some people also call it home life or simply stuff around the house. Think about all the things you use every day at home: your bed, your TV, your kitchen utensils. That's basically what this thing is all about.